and tumbling community grieves the loss of our dear friend, Colleen Kausrud. My heart goes out to her family, her friends, Azusa Pacific community, and her beloved student athletes. Colleen was an incredible role model. She created a family-focused environment that built one of the best programs in the country. Her legacy will live on. As we look at the NCATA logo, please know that it was built upon fluidity and connectivity of the 6 founding members. So I hope that we can all look at that logo and keep Colleen and her family near and dear to our hearts. She will be missed.
She encouraged us to be kind and taught us that being respectful is non-negotiable. She showed us how to lose with grace and how to win with integrity. Colleen engraved invaluable life lessons upon countless of women through her actions and her genuine, kind, warm, and loving spirit. Colleen's profound influence will continue to last for generations to come through the women that were fortunate enough to call her coach.
Coach wanted us to win, but she wanted more for us. She cared about who we grew into as young adults more than if our pyramid hit at the meet. Through coaching, she taught us many lessons that we will carry with us throughout our adult lives. To name a few, she taught us respect, what hard work really means, that if we want something, we have to ask for it, and we better prove every day that we deserve it.
I appreciate her passion for acrobatics and tumbling. A unique sport 10 years ago. No one understood it. It would have been easy to dismiss, but because of her passion for the sport, her passion for creating new opportunities for young women, her desire to create those opportunities made you enthusiastic about the sport, made you want to see the sport succeed. And obviously that happened this past year when NC2A adopted acrobatics and tumbling as an emerging sport. And Colleen played a very powerful and influential role in that, and she's one of the pioneers of the sport. I'm going to miss her tremendously. I miss her smile. She made me laugh because she had a great sense of humor. I'm going to miss her competitiveness. But most of all, I'm going to miss the warmth that she brought.
Colleen was a ray of light. There's really no better way to describe her. She lit up the room. It's that simple. When we traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast to compete at Azusa Pacific, we always entered a passionate atmosphere, and I've got to believe that was Colleen's way of exciting the APU community and gathering them around her athletes.
It was my first year at Oregon, and I didn't have a team. It was my recruiting year, so I was traveling around the country to get athletes. And I went down to Daytona Beach to watch the cheerleading national championship. Didn't have a team. It's kind of sad to coach without a team. I think Colleen saw that. So she said, come on and be a Cougar for the weekend. And a Cougar for the weekend I was. She wrapped her arms around me. Her entire team wrapped their arms around me. And I was able to witness her and learn so much from her, coaching, mentoring, and loving those student athletes. It was a disappointing year. They didn't win that year. They were really close and they didn't win. And I watched how she handled herself with dignity and how she passed that along to those student athletes. I'll never forget it.
Honestly, without Colleen, I don't know where I'd be. She's instilled so many things in me, and I know the woman that I am today has a lot to do with her and just the tools and wisdom and the love that she's given me throughout the years. She's been there for me through really hard times as well as wonderful celebrations. I'm so thankful she got to come to my wedding a couple of years ago, and she's always been like a mother to me, a best friend, somebody I knew I could always go to. She treated me like family, and I know that a lot of the athletes that came through her program felt that same family pool that she would always instill in all of us. And I just feel so grateful that I had the opportunity to get to know Colleen and to call her my family.
When I think of Colleen, 2 words come to mind: class act. And that's what she is. She's a class act. And again, I'm just so thankful and so grateful to be able to share in this piece. You know, when we look at her celebration of life, I know she's one that always looked at the positives of everything, and she really wanted to work with everyone and share what she had, especially for her athletes. You know, she always put her athletes first. You know, they were very, very important to her. Those were her kids, and she treated them as her kids.
An important memory for me was those moments where we shared the sport progress. And one that really stands out is the message that I got to send to her when Division II voted to make acrobatics and tumbling an NCAA immersion sport. And it was such a satisfying message, and to see her celebration in return was something that I'll never forget. But the real impact, I think, of Colleen is the impact within her program, and seeing what she has built at Azusa Pacific is something incredible, and she modeled all of the lessons that she instilled in her student athletes, and so that's something that is truly special and will continue to live on. Her model of servant leadership, her model of collaboration, her model of strength and being a strong woman and teaching other young women to be strong and to be confident in themselves is her lasting legacy.
But as I reflect upon what comes next, I certainly know one thing to be true, and that is Colleen was a woman of deep faith, and the hope we have in Christ is the same hope that she was clinging to and now is celebrating within. And beyond that, I'm certain that all of us that knew Colleen will carry out her legacy. Her impact on thousands of student athletes, colleagues, family members, friends will not be soon forgotten. I'm a better person because I knew Colleen, and I know so many others are as well.